So I came back, I was very relaxed. So I said, okay, boss wanted to see me. So let's see the boss. So when I went to see my boss, she started to cry. And she told me the news and she gave me a package. So that was a pink slip. But it was very human of the bank not to tell me, oh, Soo Yee, this is your box, go pack your things, and then you've got to go immediately. That wasn't done to me. I had 1 week to do the handover, pack my things, say my goodbye, and then I left.
So what are you building right now, and what does it matter at this specific stage of your life?
Well, I'm building the next 20 years of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a new chapter that started 5 years ago, an entire career pivot. And what I'm doing, which is an executive coaching, team coaching, it fills me with a lot of joy and fulfillment. And my purpose is really about growing, thriving leaders who are leading through changes. And flux and changes are happening all over the world right now as we speak. And to me, it is the most interesting of times. It is the most challenging of times. So I suppose I'm very lucky to have found a place where I feel joy, I contribute value, and it's something I want to keep doing for the next 20, 30 years of my life, hopefully. And, to a stage where, I want to just continue to contribute. So maybe to share with you my story of transformation.
Yes,
so
please.
I was working for different corporate organizations for 30 over years. So I was so used to being an employee. And what happened was in my last role, I was very privileged to be coached by really good coaches. And I also work with not only one-to-one, I also work with team coach, and it really helped me. So at the back of my mind, I was always wondering, always having the question, what is the secret of coaches that could really elicit the type of growth and transformation and energy? I really felt it, and I'm very thankful for my coaches. And what happened was during the pandemic, I was thinking about what's next for me. And at that time, my daughter finally graduated from her very expensive education in the UK.
In the UK, okay.
Yes, and I was turning about 52, thereabout. Then I was thinking, what's next? So then it dawned onto me that if I don't kind of try to figure out what's next for the next 20 years, it may be too late for me to pivot. So I stopped work, but I didn't know what to do. But I told myself, I've earned that. And
You've earned the break.
I've earned a break. And I've earned the space to go explore and be curious. And one of my key strengths is learning. I've always been a learner. And I'll tell you more about my journey through the different industries. But that learning spirit led me to ask myself, what should I study? What am I most curious about? So I did have an idea, but two things struck me. One was that question at the back of my mind around coaching. The other question at the back of my mind was around anything to do with innovation, anything to do with Agile. Why? Because I used to be the executive sponsor of a digital transformation program that was millions of dollars. And I saw Agile. I went to Glasgow. I saw the team doing the Agile stand-up daily. I was blown away by that sense of accountability, the clarity, and the teamwork. So I was more curious about the culture and the values behind Agile rather than the technique. So I said, I'm going to study Agile. And I I also had a lot of challenges trying to push innovation in a pretty old traditional organization. And many times I kind of banged my head against the wall. So I was very interested in how does one support innovation. So I went to study all these three things. And that was the first 2 to 3 years through the pandemic. And that led me to what I'm doing today, which is really about coaching, supporting leaders, leading through whether it's AI transformation, organization, restructuring, and working with teams.
So help us to understand what is coaching and what is executive coaching. Is there a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, thanks for the question. When it comes to coaching, I do get a lot of questions when people ask, oh, what do you do, Sue? I say, I'm a coach. And it's like, oh, you mean you're like a fitness coach? So I think fitness coach is what people may be familiar. So maybe I'll use
It's like a
that.
sports coach,
Yeah,
fitness
sports
coach.
right?
Okay.
Fitness coach. So do you go to the gym?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so a sports coach, they may first teach you certain techniques. They may observe you doing certain techniques. And after that, they may be your accountability partner, right? To say, oh, hey, Matthew, in the past week, how many times have you been to the gym?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Where
look,
have
look
you
through
built
the
your
routine. Okay.
Right?
Are you meeting your goals?
Yeah, so let's see where your muscles and your routine are. So there are similarities to being an executive coach. And in executive coaching, coaching first, right? Coaching's definition is the coach being a partner, a thinking partner to the client, to support the client to be the best the client can be.
In work or in life?
Anything,
In anything,
any
okay.
aspects of life.
Okay.
The key word is thinking partner.
Thinking partner.
Thinking partner. So like a sparring partner in a way?
Very much. It can be a sparring partner. A coach, the first order of the day is to first listen. So presence and active listening, to observe the client and to share observations with the client. So when we share observations, it's not only about what we hear, what we see. We also use our body and feelings to share what we feel. But that is only to serve the client, to help the client expand self-awareness. Because the core belief of coaching is the client is complete. There is full wisdom and everything you need within there.
Within the client.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, very often, right?
So it's not like they're seeking for advice and then they're asking you for what to do and then you give directions.
Well, many times and very often, clients do ask for advice. I would work with a client from a coaching perspective first, but when it's necessary and when a client invites me, I'm very happy to put down my hat as a coach and then share my perspective and experience as Sue.
Right.
Right? Whether it's from life, whether it's from work. But then it's very clear when I change the roles.
When you
And
switch
that-
the heads.
Yes. And that is what being a professional coach is all about. Yeah. So in executive coaching, the focus is more around work. But hey, we are people.
Yes.
So we show up as a person. We are not machines.
Yeah.
So invariably in executive coaching, we do talk about the person, the who. And that is very important, right? If we want to lead transformation, we transform ourselves first.
So executive coaching refers to a certain rank in the company or just everybody?
Executive coaching is about coaching around behaviors and mindsets, effectiveness around the workplace. And of course, there are coaches that work at different levels. There may be coaches that work with maybe first-time managers or maybe young adults. looking for career advice.
Okay.
There are coaches that work with directors and C-suites. I happen to be a coach that work with directors, C-suites, and CEOs.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Is it hard? Because I think as a director, as a C-suites, they really have a certain direction thinking. Right? And for you to change certain perspective, is it easy?
I would say this to listen. We will work with the client as far as the client is open to or is willing to. Yeah, the extent of transformation and growth is entirely up to the client.
Okay.
Right? So there might be clients that might be quite closed.
Do you see that often?
Well, I have experienced that. And therefore, growth or transformation
Becomes harder.
might be more limited,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But the more open and the more questioning a client is, and the more vulnerable they are, the more growth I've seen.
Is there instances where they hire you to become an executive coach and then they say that actually I'm open, but the actual fact is they're just closing the door and just trying to find, justification ways that whatever they're doing is right?
Well, I would say there are different millions of people and millions of personality, right? And I would like to say I have seen every type of person and experienced every type of situation, but I would say no, right? I continue to see different types of behavior and responses, and that's okay. That's human nature. And it's just acceptance of...
So that's like an easy, open client, right? Someone who is able to embrace, self-aware. Do you have, what's the hardest person or type of client that you have come across?
Well, I have come across clients that want advice or just don't ask me questions, just tell me.
Oh.
Yeah, just tell me.
Like
How
just
do
give
I
me the
get
solution.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
But
I'm in
that
this
is
situation.
easy, right? Because you can just deliver. But why is it hard in your experience?
Well, it doesn't serve the client.
Because the answers didn't come out from themselves. Is it?
Well, we are in a world where there are so many people around one offering solutions, isn't it? Whether it's our family,
Or AI.
our friends, AI, colleagues. So what value would I bring as a coach to offer solutions or advice? That's not my role. My role is to support clients to really enlarge their self-awareness, go deep into their own wisdom, right? And pull out things that will inspire themselves. And more importantly, give them the energy to make any tweaks that they want, whether it's in terms of behavior, mindset, or even challenge their own assumptions. This is deep work, right? Because, are you parents?
I am. Yeah.
Are you parents of teenagers
Not
or
yet.
tweenies?
Not yet. I'm still very young in the primary school, toddler crawling around.
Okay, all right. So, from parenting, we learn a lot.
Yes.
And eventually, when they hit tweenies, teenagers, the parents' advice would maybe be taken, right, with frustration or negativity.
Those are not advice, it's probably instructions, right?
It might be instruction, it might be advice, but then it's land in a closed space. And many times we want to be helpful. And when our friends are having problem, we try to say, oh, why don't you try this? And why don't you try that? If they are close, they won't be motivated or interested.
Yeah.
Right? So what we want to transform through coaching is really help the clients to dig deep, come up with their own solution, and very often they know it. It's about that aha moment to really get them to be energized, that energy and the momentum to make those changes. And if they invite the coach to be accountability partner, then the next conversation, I might just say, I remember you wanted to try this experiment. How did it go? So through that accountability and through just the reflection, through the experimentation, small steps, one step at a time, big mountains can be moved.
You mentioned that some of them, they're just closed to exploring themselves. What do you think are the top reasons as to why they do that? Is it an ego thing? Is it, what do you think is your experience?
Again, I'll go back to there might be many reasons as to why people are looking for quick solutions.
The most common in your experience?
I would say one of the key things might be that people might be in very big problem-solving mode.
Oh, so it's in their nature. They're just in that mode all the way already. Hence, they just want to cut anything else and just want to hit straight to the solution.
What happens when we are trying to solve a problem? What happens?
What happens?
We want an outcome.
There's a firefighting mode.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that the fire dies down, right? So survival.
Exactly, right? So that survival
instinct
comes up. Fight.
Or flight. Yeah.
Right? Or freeze.
Yeah.
So in that situation, people burrow down into a tunnel. I told you I was in the UK. I went for a country walk. I saw a lot of tunnels and wild rabbits.
Okay.
So you can imagine when the rabbit is in the tunnel, they don't see light. They're kind of digging deep to try to solve the problem. But what happens when that happens, right? So they may be in that situation where they're digging deep rather than seeing towards the light. So it might be that survival instinct, they might be in a troubled situation where they cannot see the forest for the trees.
So does that mean that they would have to settle their problem first, or it's a matter of changing perspective?
Well, I would say that if given the presence and the support and the safe space from a coach, some are open and able to understand and to just see, hey, I'm actually in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And actually, I've used this metaphor, this analogy with some clients.
It's a good metaphor.
And they say, oh yeah, I'm in a tunnel. So once they realize that, things flip. That's where the aha moment. Then the conversation would be, hey, you're in the situation, right? Let's talk about what's your aspiration? Where do you want to see changes made? So then by expanding that perspective, right? I've seen many clients able to come out from tunnels into the sun.
And so on that note, I'm actually very curious that most people, like we just mentioned, the other spectrum, they are just locked up in a space, they just want to solve the problem. And for you to be an assertive coach and clients coming to you say that, okay, so I'm open, tell me I have this problem, tell me how to solve it, tell me what are things I need to go through. What are their top, thinking process? Because I think for many people out there, they will think that directors, C-suites, they are, I don't know, king, they are very Superman, they can do everything.
Different.
But they don't know they're human too, right? So what are these pointers that, or rather top reasons that they will always look for you for help?
Well, I would put it within a spectrum. And human nature is beautiful, right? So there are spectrum of leaders that might be in the tunnel looking for short, quick solutions. There are those that have gone through the self-growth journey, right? And I call the self-growth journey about the inner world, right? And I'll talk about the inner world a little. I've met leaders in that spectrum. I've also met leaders that have done a lot of inner world work. And that's a spectrum. So many self-aware leaders as well. right? That have done a lot of work. They've done 360, they've done personality assessment, they've clarified on their purpose. So it's a whole spectrum there. I want to talk about self first, right? The inner world. Right?
Yeah.
Invariably in executive coaching, when a common topic would be, I want to work on influencing my stakeholders, like the board, for instance, or I want to work on leading my team through this really tough transformation, right? And business model is transforming. And there's so much flux happening around the world right now. The conversation invariably comes back to not only about skills and behaviors, but skills and behaviors are also linked to the person, right? Transformation starts with ourselves. So the 4 elements of inner world are first our mindset, our heart, our values, our purpose, and the extent of our self-awareness. So by building the inner world, you can really move, right, from quick problem solving all the way to being an adaptive, transformative leader. Right?
And how would you describe someone who's self-aware? Like, so when you look at them and you know that, hey, this guy is coachable, you know, this client is coachable as compared to not. What are some of the key common traits?
So that's interesting. You use the word, whether the person is coachable or not. As coaches,
Everybody is.
we always believe in, right, the power of the individual and human nature. And we believe that given the right chemistry, the right coach at the right time, things can happen, right? And change and growth doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be as tiny as active listening. I talk less. I listen more. Right? So let's talk about the work on self. Because if a leader, so how do I know whether a leader, the extent of the self-work or not? We just need to look at the 4 elements. So first, in terms of the mindset, is the leader clear and understand, right, his or her mindset and beliefs? The heart, is the leader understands his or her experience with feelings and regulating feelings. Third part is the leader clear and energized about a clear purpose? What the reason why? And also in terms of what is important values to the leader. And the 4th one is about self-awareness. Does the leader know about his or her pattern? Know about what triggers them? What might be their own biases? And I've seen, again, the whole rainbow across the 4 dimensions. Like, take an instance, I have coached leaders, like I will give you an example, a charity sector leader that have been in the space of working with troubled youth for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Obviously, to work in this space, it takes a lot of compassion.
It's
right?
big heart.
50 years of
Working with disadvantaged youth, troubled youth, disadvantaged family, right? So there has been, and of course, they have been trained in counseling. They've also worked on their self in order to support such challenging situations, isn't it? I can see the inner world is very rich.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a very personal question.
Yeah.
Any clients that you say that, hey, you're not in the right frame of mind, I'm going to reject you.
Yeah, have you ever rejected?
Yeah, or any clients that actually you say that, hey, actually, I'm so done with you, our chemistry doesn't match, I don't think I can help you.
Well, at the chemistry, now that you said chemistry session, that is the key because before
That's like the first one, or?
it's even before the first
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah. So if a client see my profile and they say, "Oh, okay, Soo Yee, I'm interested to embark on a coaching journey with you." So before that, we would say, let's have a chemistry session. So we have coffee, lunch, have a video call, just have a chat to get to know one another.
So that we can vibe.
Yes, and I would invite the client to think about whether the chemistry makes him or her feel safe, that they can be open up to. Sometimes clients reject me, and it's happened.
Oh.
I've also kind of told client,
Not fit.
given the conversation, it might be that another kind of coach that with a certain type of focus or personality might serve you better. So it can happen either way as well. So when I was a client, I've also rejected coaches before as well. Usually I would recommend that somebody who's interested to embark on a journey to meet with at least 2 to 3 coaches.
Okay. So what kind of clients do you think you fit best?
This is a good question. I haven't thought about that. I would say those would be open to be
Is there a certain
going.
sector that you like, that you relate more?
So on the personality front perspective, those would be those that are open to be going deep into themselves.
Okay.
From a sector perspective, actually, I work across all sectors, from beauty to hospitality, to financial services, to technology, to education, to not-for-profit. So I say I'm open for all, but I would say I am very interested in supporting people working in sustainability, green, because that is very important area. And of course, it is very challenging in these times.
Yeah. Especially when the world is just changing and all. Yeah.
Sustainability has its own pillars as well, right? Do you have a specific sector that you like especially in green, or is it like in economic sustainability?
It can be in anything. As long as they are supporting the green transformation. We've got only one Earth. Right? And looking at the situation, I mean, it is beyond beyond what the environmentalists and the scientists have said about where the world is. We were talking about heat waves and all that in Europe. And we suffered in our trips to Europe, right?
Hotter than Singapore?
Way hotter.
Exactly.
Way
It
hotter.
feels way hotter.
Singapore is warm nowadays.
No, but it's the humidity. It's dry.
Yeah.
And you can feel the rays piercing the skin. It's not fun.
Yeah, and of course, not to talk about the disasters, whether it's typhoon, wildfire. So it's upon us. So my hat off to those working in green space. And therefore, it would be my privilege and honor to work with any leaders in that space through whatever sectors.
Right. Yeah. And beginning of our conversation, you did mention adaptive leaders, right? What is that? What's an adaptive leader to you?
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about that. And it's adaptive leader through Flux, right? Flux.
What is Flux? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Flux.
Yeah. Flux. So
Okay,
Flux is, sometimes do you feel like the ground is shifting as we walk when it comes to the world?
Is that metaphor or?
I wanted to say, well, sometimes I walk in a shopping center,
Yeah.
I felt that the train is moving, so the ground shakes.
Yeah, so not like an earthquake,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? But it's a metaphor on, it does feel like to many of us, I don't know about you, the earth is moving as we walk and as we lead, right? Just about last week or about a week back, I'm not sure whether you saw that call to action, We Must Act Now paper that was published by about 200 over economists, AI researchers about the call to action
For AI?
for not necessarily for AI, but on research on the economic impact of AI. Right?
Okay, so it's like at the we must act now AI. Is that
Exactly.
the paper? Okay.
That's right. So it's very interesting to look at that paper. And these are AI researchers, and they are in the AI company like the Anthropic of the world. And it includes 16 Nobel laureates.
Wow.
16,
16. Oh, 16. Okay.
And in the paper, what they are highlighting is, while it already feels like the ground is shifting with all the changes of technology and all that, in the next 10 years, they are predicting that AI changes will be even faster.
Maybe we could read it out, right? So under this we must act now.ai, there are 3 statements. Number 1, AI may radically become more powerful over the next 10 years. Number 2, this could drive an unprecedented transformation of our economy, larger than the Industrial Revolution, but unfolding over a vastly shorter time frame. It could bring risks, including large-scale job displacement, as well as opportunities such as major gains in living standards. And number 3, economists, policymakers, and technology leaders must act now to understand the economics of transformative AI and to build the incentives, guardrails, and institutions needed to clear AI in a direction that complements humans and benefits societies. Oh.
Well, AI should be developed to support human thriving,
Right.
right? Where the world is today, it leads to questions and concerns. Hence the paper, even the Pope, and I'm not a Catholic, the Pope in his encyclical has also focused a lot on AI's impact and how governance, leaders, government should be taking steps to protect, right, to ensure AI support human thriving rather than take jobs away. For instance, right?
Okay.
And lead to polarities in terms of income, the haves and the have-nots. Yeah, so that's really interesting on what's to come. Of course, it's not doom and gloom. In the paper, it's quite well balanced in the sense that AI can live human standards. And we're already seeing that, right? I was reading a paper like in AI is already helping diagnosis on cancer, for instance, where in the time past where only human eye will look at the scans, they may miss certain things.
Yes.
Now, human and AI, both AI can miss certain things, AI can miss certain things, but together they can pick up more signals and
extra
signs
tool,
in the
no.
scans, right? For earlier cancer diagnosis, just as an example.
Right.
So it's already making its mark to help human beings. But the concerns around jobs, around even the societal impacts on our youth from AI, is something that needs urgent action from leaders, corporate leaders, government, and educators, for sure. Right? So this is already a world of flux. It will even be more pronounced, right? When AI technology accelerates, as the paper calls out. And therefore, what does it mean to be a leader leading through this moving ground? So I look at it from 3 dimensions. I like number 3, my favorite number. It helps me remember. And of course, the first thing we already talked about, it starts from self.
Yep.
Right?
Self-awareness.
It starts from self. The second thing is about inviting differences, inviting diversity. Why? Because no one single person have all the answers, particularly in this changing world, right? So it's about inviting and mobilizing others. The third thing is about sensing situations, having systemic approach, having an experimental mindset.
Right.
So these are the three dimensions that I believe can really support leaders leading through that, right? And it doesn't mean to say, for instance, that, if we don't work on ourselves, we can't lead others. I would say that it is three elements all in tandem. And no leaders can say that they have arrived,
Yeah.
right? Even the leader that I mentioned from the charity sector that have worked, in this space, they have so much self-awareness, but it's a continuous journey, isn't it?
It's true.
It's true.
Agreed.
Yeah, it sounds very deep, but actually it's not that deep. It's still really what's happening around the world. Yeah, it is.
You mentioned another concept, the Agile concept. Can you explain a little bit more about the Agile concept? I think this is used largely in the tech world.
Yes.
Right.
So in the tech world, of course, in the old days, it's like waterfall, right? You plan, you ask for
waterfall approach
specifications. Well, when I led the digital transformation program, so there were a lot of specifications and we tried to kind of move to Agile. As I mentioned, I saw my team doing that. Why is it so? It's because by the time you get your specifications, the world has changed, right? So Agile is really a methodology where it's about quick sprints, about rapid working with users. Of course, there are designated roles and getting the specs in quick fashion and rapidly developing, rapidly testing in sprints after sprints. So rather than build this beautiful building, we build part by part.
Part by part, module by module. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So I think on that note, I want to bring you back to the very, very beginning. Right? I want to know, how do you start your career to where you are now? Because you lead through digital transformation, right? You went through all these concepts. How did your career even started?
Okay. Very innocently, I did business, and in business school, that was in National University of Singapore. In those days, of course, it wasn't as well ranked as today. So a different animal altogether. But anyway, I did business, and I got into business not because of choice, because my father studied business. My sister also studied business in NUS. So it's like, I didn't know what to study, so let me study business. And because it's general anyway, right?
Genetic.
And, it's very general. And I had a lot of fun partying in the dormitories. It was quite a light course also as compared to
the important, the partying.
Yeah, right. I mean, we were all young once.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, on those days I turned up for lectures. One lecturer, and he was in marketing. It was the most interesting. So then I was really inspired, and I said, communications and marketing, that's me. I want to be a marketer. So after graduating, I did end up in a marketing sales role, and that was in Shell, the oil company. And I was there for about 7-8 years.
Shell also need a market, Anna.
Of course.
Market to who?
I thought people just pump it through there,
Well, we'll still need to run campaigns, right?
For institutions or for consumers?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Individuals. We also have a lot of corporate institutional clients. So we run campaigns. It's not only petroleum, diesel that we sell. There's also lubricants, right? And lubricants, quite competitive,
Yes.
and therefore certain marketing campaigns to drive, right? To also position our brand. That's important. And of course, when it comes to petrol retailing, it's location, isn't it? But still, marketing did play a certain part. But to your question, it became stale after a while.
Right.
So I was curious about what else can I learn about marketing. So then I went to observe and I said, oh, fast food, run campaigns, launch new products every month.
Okay.
So I'm curious about developing advertisements, radio ads, TV. Those were the days of television ads, radio ads. So then I went to KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. And I went there, I learned all about developing TV campaigns, radio campaigns, planning advertisements, and also product development.
For KFC?
For KFC.
Okay.
Right? Because we've got the core products,
Yeah.
which are, of course, the original recipe, hot and crispy.
Yes.
Right? But consumers always need something fresh.
Yeah.
So every month, we would have limited time offers.
Okay.
So whether it's Twisters, where we serve fried chicken in a wrap, whether it's, I still remember, like Hot Devil campaign, where we serve drumlet in different flavors, whether it's Thai Tom Yum.
And what is the Tom Yum
And
flavor?
Singaporeans love spicy flavors,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So those limited campaigns would bring the traffic into the stores and we would track that. So I was there for only about 2.5, 3 years because during that time, digital marketing came into being. And I wanted to learn about, how does one build digital customer journey? So I joined one of a major American bank. And I learned all about digital customer journey, customer retention, customer stickiness, cross-selling.
Right.
Yeah. So that was, and what happened was, so that brought us to, I don't know whether you're young enough or old enough to kind of know about the big financial crisis,
Yes.
2007, 2009.
Yes. Around.
Yeah, I mean, we were young,
Yeah,
but we
around.
don't know that much. But
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be young adults or teenagers then. So I was very happy doing digital marketing, also launching new banking products for high net worth consumers with this foreign bank. Then the financial crisis hit. It hit this American bank very hard. It took a lot of government money for bailout.
Okay.
Right? So what happened was there were noises in the corridor and I decided to take a long vacation. In the banks, we've got to take 2 weeks compliance leave.
Yes.
where
Yeah.
You
14 days, right?
Right? You disconnect from your emails, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Very luxurious, right?
Okay.
So I went away. I remember I went to Cambodia. I went to Siem Reap and I went to see the Angkor Wat. It's such a beautiful, long history, understanding culture. I came back and my boss said, Sui, after lunch, I want to see you.
Oh, nice.
That's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah. So
Hope that you want to promote you.
So I came back, I was very relaxed. So I said, okay, boss wanted to see me. So let's see the boss. So when I went to see my boss, she started to cry.
Oh.
And she told me the news and she gave me a package. So that was a pink slip. Right? But it was very human of the bank not to tell me, oh, Sui, this is your box. Go pack your things. I mean, we see it in the movies
Yes, we do.
all the time, right?
They pack it for you.
Either they pack for you or you pack and then you've got to go immediately. That wasn't done to me. So my appreciation to the bank and my bosses then, I had 1 week to do the handover, pack my things, say my goodbye, and then I left, right? So that was the financial crisis. And you heard about the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross change curve?
No, you explain.
Please explain, yeah.
Please explain it to us.
Yeah, so on hindsight, so that change curve, when she did this curve, it was actually, she was studying the process of grieving. But then when people looked at it, they also realized that in big changes, people go through similar curve, right? So it starts with shock,
Okay.
denial,
The 5 stages.
right? The 5 stages of grief, of changes. So shock, denial, then anger.
Yes.
Right? Oh,
Why did you do
denying
this
it
to us?
happened. Why did it happen to me? Right? Then sadness, depression. Then after that, it comes up. Integration, experimentation, and what are the things I can try now? Acceptance, right? And then integration into a new way of being. So on hindsight, when I saw the change curve, I might have jumped straight into maybe acceptance.
Wow.
Because at that time, my daughter was about 11, 12 years old. So being an Asian tiger mom, it's about, okay, this happened. That's okay. I've got a package that can last me for a certain time. I've got a 6-month savings, right? And I'm glad I did that. So let's focus on looking for the next job, right? To feed my daughter. So I was very focused, and the lucky thing was in 2 months' time, I managed to find a job in another American financial services organization that also took bailout money.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my next 2.5 years was in a state of flux because the organization at one stage, it was in the midst of being sold to another financial, like a competitor. So the competitor chair actually came into the office to speak with us. You can imagine.
Oh, that's quite scary, actually.
Yeah, you can imagine. But then there was a change of mind. The deal didn't go through. And then the organization decide to float and to go for IPO in Asia. So they are listed in Hong Kong today. And it's one of the largest insurance player in Asia today. So anyway, that learning from digital marketing and marketing, right? It came into this financial services, and it was in this very challenging time that I opened my eyes from a marketer because I went through 6 bosses in 2.5 years.
6 bosses? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they would tell me, oh, Sue, you must also do customer service besides marketing. You must also do operations besides marketing. Then I've got another boss who say, Sue, I'm sorry. You know, there's no more marketing role. Can you do a sales job? Sell insurance to the private banks.
And you are not a low-level executive, right?
Yes.
You're at least middle or...
So I was fairly senior.
Yeah.
I was the head of marketing in partnership distribution.
Wow.
Right? So the job was done away with. And I asked myself, should I say yes to changing from marketing to sales? Do I have what it takes? And I decided to say yes, why not? Because I can learn.
Yeah.
Right? It's opened this situation, and by that time, I was in my early 40s. If I don't try sales, I'll never know whether I can do it or not. So I went to do sales to the private banks, and they were one of the toughest customers, as you can imagine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did that for a while, and it really opened my eyes to the idea of saying yes, going with the flow, and learning with whatever opportunities present to me. So it is with these that my next job came calling, which is with Education Accountancy Association, because they saw that I not only have marketing, I could do sales, I did operations, customer service, so everything which is needed. So that opened up the next 10 years of another opportunity in not-for-profit accountancy association.
Was that there that you got exposed to the world of coaching?
Yes, that's where, because it's a UK organization. And of course, in leadership development, there are different modalities besides training, besides mentoring, besides on the job. They also believe very much in coaching, right? So I not only work with my coach, I work with team coach. I also learn coaching. And it was that time that I did a big transformation in the way I interacted with my own direct reports. And that was through a coaching lens. And it was not about trying to save them with giving them solutions. It was about supporting them in refining their thinking process. So that was a very big switch for me in that last 10 years. And of course, after that, I told you my story about that switch to being a coach.
Yeah.
Wow, so that wraps up the whole journey. Well, that's a very interesting career journey, actually.
Yeah.
So it was all about learning from the beginning, from marketing, then just be open to, hey, since these opportunities presented, I could learn about other things besides marketing as well. So I would say learning mindset. I would say the openness to just go with opportunities that present themselves, whether it was challenging or not, right? So I do believe that things happen in our life for a reason. So it's really for us to take it.
And on that topic of learning, right, I think why not we head to our Enzo segment, right, and learn more about you. This is the Enzo segment. Over the course of interviewing and networking, we realized that many people do not know what question to ask. Hence, we came up with this. It's as simple as pick up a card and ask that question.
I would say it's the inner world work, right?
Inner world.
And it's about understanding and making friends with my emotions. It's about noticing the signals information is telling me. It's about learning how to regulate. So in the past 5 years, besides being on this big coaching learning journey, Agile, design thinking and all that, I've also started on a very big journey about working on my mindfulness. So
What's mindfulness?
So mindfulness is really about being present, living the now rather than thinking forward or thinking about what's happened, just being alive at this moment and noticing my breath and listening and looking at you, right? So I've started a very big mindful journey and learning different types of meditation.
Wow.
And through the process is about making friends with
Knowing your
heart.
inner. Oh, wow. Okay.
and being compassionate to myself. And by being that, I can be compassionate for people around me.
What stops someone from being present? What do you think are there many things or is there a top cause to it?
Well, human beings, our brain, you heard of the term monkey mind?
No.
You can explain more, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, in meditation, we learn a lot about the monkey mind, and that is the nature of our mind. Very often, random thoughts, thinking forward, thinking backwards, right? That is the nature because our brain is being evolved and designed to save us, right? So planning for our survivor, scanning all these things are part and nature of our build-up. So training ourselves to be mindful and to be present, it takes intention, it takes training, right? To just make friend, first to be able to be like a third party, to observe our monkey mind, but not to fight with it, but to make friend with it. And by making friend with it, eventually the monkey mind, it will calm down. Right? It's not about changing the nature of our brain. It's about making friend. And through that process of training, it becomes calmer. And by us being calmer, we focus more on the task at hand. And when we're having conversations, say with my husband, I'm paying full attention to him. I'm listening to him, and I'm using everything about myself to respond to him. And as a result, I build deeper relationship with him, right? Rather than I'm half listening to him, I'm half worried about preparing for the podcast with Matthew and Tillinson, right?
Very distracted in a way.
Exactly. But that happens very often in modern life, isn't it?
Do you have a tool or technique that helps you to be present? Maybe you can share it with us.
Of course. It's very simple. It starts with things that we already have, and it starts with our breath.
Oh, that's what my watch always tells me to. Right?
Start
Please
breathing?
Take a moment to breathe now.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So first of all, I don't know whether you heard about a Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh. He's got a saying, right? Breath is so beautiful. We breathe in, it's beautiful. We breathe out, it's beautiful. Without breath, this is my saying, without breath, where are we? Right? So it starts with our breath. So to many of my clients that I work with, when they share with me, challenges in the boardroom, conflict, emotional regulation, the first thing is we come back to our breath. And it's accessible to each one. And from 1 year old to 99, right? So we come back to the breath, but there are certain things that we want to watch out for. We don't want to go into hyperventilation, right? And hyperventilation is when we take too many deep breaths, then we get dizzy, right? So there are certain breathing techniques. So a very simple one is just breathe. You say you breathe to 5 counts and you breathe 5 counts. So you make sure your in-breath is the same as your out-breath. So we can try it together if you like.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Take an in-breath to a count of 5. Out-breath to a count of 5. So that is one technique. Another technique is if one feel very anxious, like you feel your heart beating, cold fingers, right? You're coming in a sweat. 2 times breath is what I would share with my clients.
2 times breath.
2 times breath. So your in breath, say count of 3, out breath count of 6.
Oh, wow.
Or in breath count of 4, out breath count of 8. You can try it together.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So let's do 3 time, count 3 and then
out 6.
Out 6, okay?
Okay.
You can do another 2 sets. How do you feel?
Very interesting. It's just changed the mood differently, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a very easy technique whenever you need to be present, right? My meditation teacher, I'm learning Tibetan meditation. he goes further. So his idea is anytime, anywhere meditation. So besides the breath, we can use any of our senses. Like do you like tea, coffee?
Yes,
I love
wine?
tea. Yeah, tea.
Yeah. So say if you next drink your tea, slowly smell it. And then when the tea hits your tongue, just let's feel it in different parts of your tongue. So that's also mindful practice, right?
No wonder you mentioned wine. Because wine, normally that's where you taste wine, you just smell it, enjoy it, and have a little taste.
Exactly. And for some people who are more auditory, to be present, say in the morning, they can listen to the sounds, whether it's birds chirping, dogs barking, even the rubbish, truck going around,
Children
hearing, children screaming, music, any of these things, right? Right? Our sight. I love to look at clouds in the morning. So just look at that and see, right? Smell. So if you smell, maybe your neighbor cooking curry or something, that sense of smell, using that to bring ourselves back to the present. So it's very easy to do that.
Wow,
shall
thank
try.
you for it's good tips.
Yeah, good tips.
Yeah. Second question.
Second question. What did you learn from experiencing failure or setbacks? Maybe you can share with us
Any interesting?
interesting episode that you have, and what do you learn from there?
Well, I must say, I have a confession. I am a recovering perfectionist. Right? And I never knew I was a perfectionist until there was a 360 feedback in one of my roles. So one of my staff, he shared, and not anonymously, Soo Yee is a perfectionist, right? And she will send messages, for things, even though things might be good enough, but Soo Yee is always aiming for perfection. So that stayed with me. Right? And I realized that when I want to do anything, why I wanted to go for perfection, because I was scared of failure. And when I fail certain things, small things, big things, thinking back with the inner work that I've done, I had a great sense of shame.
Why do you say that?
I had a great sense of shame when things didn't go to perfection, right? And there was this fear of shame. Thinking back, because in those days, I didn't know. I just did things unconsciously, right?
And you felt like you wasn't good enough, and you're shameful about it.
Right? Yeah, and it ran counter to what I'm preaching today, right? About going with the flow, taking things on, experimenting, learning.
Wow.
And the things that I'm supporting my clients on. I mean, even now I continue to work on myself, right? So whether it's building my own coaching business, and you are building your own business, right? It's never an easy journey. There would be things that fail. There would be things that, of course, would bring you a lot of joy, right? So when things fail, I kind of go back to my understanding of myself, my inner world, to speak with this little girl inside that is always, might be looking for acknowledgement or reassurance, to tell her it's okay, right? I've got you, right? And through failure, we learn. It's okay, right? It's okay. We will get better. We've got everything it takes to learn and to be better. So that is how I've been working on myself through failure, to unexpected challenges, through this practice. And by doing this, through the past few years, the practice has been strengthened to the sense that when things fail, I can laugh, right? Or I recover rather than taking me 3 days where I mope and I kind of go through playback and things like that. Now, maybe it takes me half a day, right? Of just working through difficult emotions, first accepting the difficult emotion, understanding it, and then just moving into learner's mode again. So I would recommend this journey and the inner work to anybody because, as we said, the world is in such great flux. The world needs leaders who are able to adapt and lead themselves first, right? So it starts with our own inner work.
Wow.
And with that, we can then have the courage to invite different voices, right? If we are not confident, we won't be able to invite differences. We won't be able to work through conflict. But it's a good thing, isn't it? We need diversity at the table and at the boardroom to make the best decision and for innovation to happen and to inspire everybody.
Wow. Thank you for that. That's really good.
Yeah.
And so that's how we end. So is there a defining event or a moment that actually shaped the character that you are now? What's after that luxurious career that you have, right? Is there any?
I would say two. One was when I was retrenched from the first financial services organization. It opened up a new mindset for me. And it's about being fearless, right? Before that, I was one of those in the boardroom where if it doesn't concern my job, I would just keep quiet lah.
Yeah.
Why rock the boat?
Yeah.
If I have any views, I keep to myself or just share with my close colleagues, right? But after what happened, I was like, why don't I be fearless? Because that is where value is. If I've got any thoughts, I might as well shape strategy, the culture, wherever I go. If, I were to be retrenched again, I've experienced that, I've survived. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that was that. And also when I did the transformation, after 30 years of working for people, I became my own boss. Again, really, it's about that work on the inner self, right? Just accepting and understanding my emotions, what my emotions are telling me, working with them, befriending my monkey mind, be more pauseful. And by being more pauseful, it may feel very uncomfortable because we all feel like running, right?
Yeah.
Chasing after things, but just allowing myself to be pauseful, I realized I could do a lot more things, magical things.
And in your experience, what money tips would you like to share?
Yeah, earlier I mentioned when I was let go of, the first thing that came to my mind was, thank goodness, I've got at least 6 months of salary in my savings account that could help me, right? Say, pay the car, pay for the house, feed my daughter. So that would be the number one advice that I would share with anybody. Always have some savings and cash aside. The other thing is any other spare money, please invest that, right? According to your risk profile, right? And for those that have spare money, you can actually afford to take more risk. Whatever is it, right? Because time is money. So the younger one is, the younger you start to invest, the more returns you will get, right? The cumulative effect of money. So for those part of the audience who are in the 20s and the late teens, this is the best time to start thinking about investing.
And you mentioned at the start of our conversation that you're working for the next 20 years, right? Preparing for that. So my question to you is, what impact do you want to leave behind?
Very simple. It's about thriving leaders that have it in them, their being, to lead thriving teams. For me, what gives me the most energy is about seeing organizations that are high performing, that are game changers in whatever industry, so they can be in technology, in healthcare, in green, financial services, because when they are high performing, they will be coming out with innovative solutions for the world, right? And it doesn't need to be commercial organizations. It can be charities or not-for-profit as well. They'll be supporting the world, and the world needs that.
Right.
So that would be the legacy. Thriving leaders, thriving community, thriving world.
Thriving.
Thank you, Sue. I think as we sort of like come to like a close for our sessions, is there anything that you'd like to speak about that we haven't yet discussed?
Yes, I was quite perturbed when I saw Gallup's latest State of the Global Workplace research report that came out maybe about a month back. I don't know whether you saw that report. In that report, they tracked the extent of employee engagement. Singapore has got the lowest employee engagement in the world.
Oh, in the
Only
world.
1 out of 7 Singapore employee is fully engaged at work. You can imagine.
What's the definition of engagement?
Yeah.
Well, meaning that they are bought into the organization purpose, mission, right? They bought into their work and they are showing up fully, right? Fully themselves to perform, to be asking questions.
With regards to the work.
With regards to the
Okay.
work,
Okay.
right? So then what happened to the other 6?
They are just
They're just working for the money.
doing the work.
Yeah.
So what happens when 6 out of the whole team of 7 are just showing up performatively, ticking the boxes? Can innovation happen?
I don't think they even bother with innovation.
Yeah.
Because they're just ticking the boxes, just doing their very bare minimum.
So what does it tell us about the state of leadership and the state of commercial effectiveness or organization effectiveness in Singapore? So having said that, though, globally, it is 1 employee out of 5 that are
20%.
engaged,
Yeah.
right?
1 out of 7 is like 14%.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when I thought about it, it's very disappointing. I think it shines a light on leaders and on all of us as parents. So leaders first, let's put a mirror to ourselves. How are we leading and building workplaces that 1 out of 7 are fully engaged? What is it that we must let go of control, in order to build a more open and adaptive work environment? Right? Where maybe 4 generations are there, right? To invite that diversity of voices. So I think it puts a mirror against leaders who are all of us. The other one is to parents. So earlier on, we had a conversation around parenting. I happen to have a 28-year-old, right? And I've learned some hard lessons through that. In this state of flux right now, parents will be the last people to have a sense of where the world is going and what jobs would be good jobs for tomorrow. Do you agree?
To a certain extent, yeah. Yeah.
So why would parents be still giving advice or telling their kids what to study in school?
I think it's just human nature that just hope the best for their kids.
Yes, to your point, they want the best for the kids from a deep sense of love. And also they want to protect the kids. That mirror to the parents is be aware of what the parents should be controlling and what the parents need to let go, right? Particularly in our Asian society, 孝, filial piety has been ingrained subconsciously, right? Parents and also even to bosses at the workplace, right? Li, respect is also very much ingrained, but we want to be mindful that we are not overdoing it in these times of change, where it is inviting us to be more mindful about other practices that will support the younger generation, right?
Wow.
So, for parents, what I like to share is by building the confidence and love for the child, right? The child, I feel, would be able to find what would be the right profession or studies for himself or herself, right? Through the belief. So stop telling kids, oh, you should study this or you shouldn't study that, because we may be pointing them to an entirely wrong direction. Yeah. And also, stop giving solutions to kids or the people around us, even to our staff, because they are not in need of solutions. ChatGPT has all the solutions for them. What they need is a listening ear and support.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so on that note, I'm just wondering, right, when you say that, parents should stop giving advice and all, who should give the advice to them then for their career choices and all?
Of course, when I say stop giving advice to children, I meant older children, right? And now 21, 18, they are getting younger and younger, right? Where they want to exert independence. So it really depends on the maturity level of the individual child, at what stage the parents will need to be very aware to let go of that kite string. Right? They need to be very self-aware, because I have also seen a lot of conflicts happening between teenagers, even younger kids and parents. And that is because parents are still looking after a teenager as if they are a 5-year-old by not
that's good advice.
letting go of the kite string, right?
Yeah. So, when it comes to advice, right, so for every single guest that sit on that chair, we'll ask them for this particular advice, right? Will be, if there's one word you'll give to anyone out there looking to succeed or wanting to be an entrepreneur, what would that one word be?
Flow.
Flow. Why flow?
Well, because there are always different opportunities coming to our lives, whether we can see it or not. And sometimes we may see it as challenges or stumbling block. But just be open-minded and flow with things rather than having a very fixed mindset on, oh, this is not what I want, that's where I want to go to, right? Because life has got strange ways of opening doors. And they may send us many doors. Just be curious and open them, right? And go with what your heart tells you.
So I think, thank you, Sue, for that. As we come to a close for this session, right, just wanted to share with you the kind of lessons that we have gotten out from today's session. I think the biggest thing that struck me was really the thing that you mentioned, that you were a perfectionist when you were younger and you were working, and now the journey to when you are a coach. And I think the key parameter for coaches is really to not solve things, right, and not close the loop. Right, the client, right, will need to close the loop by themselves. right? And that's a whole world of a difference. And for that to happen, I'm just imagining what the amount of change that must happen, right, for the person, for you. And I think that this is something admirable, right? To be able to change something that has forged you for so long, and now for the next part of your life, to really change the entire ideology. It's inspirational to me. Yeah. So I'm just thinking to myself, when I reach that stage, right, to be open. Yeah. And what does it mean to really be open? So thank you a lot. I think
Thank you very
we really
much. So
appreciate
thank
it.
you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much. I enjoyed our conversation.
Hi guys, thank you for listening. If you like what you have just heard, follow us for more content like this.